Hello, everybody. This is Peter Palmiotti, and I present to you the morning show. Um, even though it's right now lunchtime, but I will be doing these earlier. I'll figure out a best time to do them. And all in all, this is an experiment in many ways. So bear with me as I go along the journey to figure out exactly how I want to present this and what topics to cover and what I'll be talking about. I'm going to start off with a basic how to be a pinup artist or how to become a pinup artist. And I figure I can tackle that for at least 30 days. But let me cover some of the basics of what I want to do with the show. It'll be a half hour episode, give or take. Um, it will be in the morning. I'm thinking maybe 6 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock. That's for anybody who wishes to catch it live. It will be up on YouTube ever after. I'll make a playlist so you can go check out past episodes and see the show's progression. There'll be a live chat, which I'll review after the show since it's such a short show. I'm not going to be interacting as I do it, but I drew this just as a way to start. You know what is a pinup. But about the show, I'll read my tagline for this video is the morning show is grown from various inspirations of my childhood. I hope you follow along my journey in creating a motivational show for both new artists as well as fellow professionals. Um, Me personally, I grew up in the 60s and 70s when I was young. Watching morning shows on TV. They were news oriented, um, but it was a way to ease into the day. It was kind of soft, and I want to bring that sort of essence to the artist community, to the comic community, and you know, I'll have little bits of news in here. I'll have maybe some just motivational artist tips, and I'll squeeze in some sort of lesson or just I'll work on pieces, all sorts of things. But I figured this would just be a good way to get me started and let me know any feedback, ideas you have. Put it in the comment section below the video at any point. Give me a like, share this out, and let other people know about it. And I thank you ahead of time very much. So, um, here's a little bit of news. Since Marvel and Netflix put out the newest season of Daredevil, it's already getting praised, and I was crazy enough to watch it all already. I don't. I haven't binged the previous seasons of all the Netflix Defenders shows as hardcore as I have this season of Daredevil, which is season three. Um, but is the best season by far of any show previously. And one person even commented on one of my posts that it is best Marvel produced show on Netflix, period. Which I guess includes all their movies and whatever else they have up on Netflix right now. Um, yeah, I just loved it. I'm not sure if it's 100% true to the comics. I know there's like one fact. Uh, I don't know if they ever said out loud in the comics that kind of caught me by surprise. I haven't read everything Daredevil, but I saw it kind of hinted at previously. But yeah, watch the show. It is definitely a 5-star recommend by me. I love Daredevil. I've read tons of Daredevil comics and some graphic novels they had out and along the way. Um, and yeah, I mean, it's what I hope for my own creations, the high quality and the drama, and yeah, just well produced show. Um, I did also hear that they canceled Iron Fist, which to a lot of people is surprising, but you know, it was surprising to me. It's like it's not the best show of the four, now five, um, different characters, but I was hoping they would be continuing it. It kind of got good where they left it. Although, I don't 100% agree with the direction they took, but I was interested to see what they would do next. Unfortunately, that's goodbye to Iron Fist, and also really surprised me goodbye to Luke Cage. Luke Cage had two slightly different kind of seasons. The second one wasn't as strong in my opinion, although really, again, like where they left it, um, and was surprised. The quality of the show is was much better than Iron Fist, but you know, Netflix deemed that canceled too. So right now we have Daredevil. Jessica Jones definitely has another season. It's in production. And we have Punisher, which is the next season is done, which will be season two. So they'll announce an air date at some point, and we'll get to see that. I loved the first season of Punisher. Curious where they take it to next, and I hope not only do we see another season of Daredevil, I hope we see a lot more seasons of Daredevil. If I had to pick one show, it would be Daredevil, and I hope we have a dozen seasons of that show because it was so good. Um, you can't go that high octane on the drama of it. It's one of the best stories they took from the comic, but they could do a lot of interesting things and a lot of interesting villains and just more Matt Foggy, Karen uh, gatherings. I just love all of them and their connection and their love for each other and their support. Um, yeah, really a fantastic show. Um, so, how to become a pinup artist? I really thought for the how long am I going? Oh, I'm good. I really thought for the chunk of the first wave of episodes. And I forget if I mentioned I'm going to do these weekdays, not weekends. So you'll get 5 a week. So 30 days will 30 30 parts will carry us a long time. Um, if you go to comic conventions, a lot of successful artists, be it comic book artists or just general artists, are making a lot or having a lot of success by just doing pinups, and it's something I want to partially get into myself. I don't want it to be the only thing, but it is a great way to make money and have your work out there. And I personally want to become a better artist. So by spending a lot of my time um, doing that, then I'm set. Hopefully. Um, and side note, I will mention that I do want to improve the streaming quality of my videos because I'm not sure what's coming across. Well, I'll watch the video afterwards. So excuse me for any hiccups along the way. That will be worked out as I have work coming in and get paid for it, and I'll be making improvements. So I thought I'll mention a couple of basic things, and then we'll get deeper into it as we go. But anything can become really like a pinup, or if you think of it like a painting or an illustration. Um, you could have the typical hot girl, um, simplistic, straightforward, you know, sex sells. If your proclivity goes that way, it could be a hot guy or what have you. But an illustration of say like a broken down truck in a field of grass. Maybe a tree, a sky, a mountain in the background. Just something very simplistic can be um, just an inspirational piece of artwork that anybody can hang on their wall. Um, art can be soothing, art can be thought provoking, art can be everything across the board. So therefore, as a pinup artist, you could choose different avenues to go down as far as what you want to present. So, I may be focusing on a certain kind of pinup art, but really, whatever your interests lie, then you could choose to go that way and get tips from this, um, even though I'm venturing in a different direction. So where my interests lie is with comic book characters, and I sort of want to lean in that direction. Um, I've thought about um, being an artist of a different sort, but I want to keep it close to where my other art will lie. So I'll be doing Marvel, DC, popular characters, or just a string of other independent characters. Characters people know, like um, Hellboy isn't as nearly as popular as Spider-Man, but Hellboy does have his following and popularity. So if I choose to do a pinup of Hellboy, then um, there is a wide audience out there for him. Um, so when I do my own comics, like retro and other things, I'll be talking about in the future. Then you know it's I'll have a Hellboy pinup on one side of my table and my comic retro on the other, and it's sort of presenting to the same audience. And one benefits the other. Hopefully, it all benefits me as bringing income. Definitely making prints of your illustrations of popular characters is a good way because the cost of a print, and you could print 100, or you can make it a limited print, or you can print 1,000 copies, and if you think you have that larger audience, or if you do a lot of conventions and really just will sell out over time. Um, I for now, I do look towards the future of being at conventions a lot, but for right now, I want to simply sell stuff online. So I'll have stuff set up in my shop and just expand sort of my library. Um, I am thinking of doing both, which is, uh, prints available all the time and some more limited prints. Uh, what becomes what? That's my choice. That's your choice. Um, but you know, there's a logic that follows that, a limited print is something that brings more attention to itself. So you may want to experiment and try on your own. I will be doing the same. Um, I had some more thoughts, and we've only gotten halfway. So I guess 30 minutes is pretty long for a morning show. Oh, one point, and this is going to be me flip flopping until I get really more focused and planned out with sort of lessons. Um, but the whole thing about Marvel on Netflix seems to be going away to a certain degree. It's because this sort of streaming battle is going on. DC just started up theirs, which is DC Universe. Um, Marvel is going to be under Disney streaming, or whatever they're going to be calling it, which starts up next year, possibly January or soon thereafter. So maybe this is um, Netflix knowing that Marvel slash Disney is going to be pulling all their movies and everything else other than the sort of under the umbrella of Defenders from Netflix hand. So maybe it's just sort of a battle going on behind the scenes. But I know, for right now, I'm a Netflix subscriber. I don't plan to be a Disney subscriber. I don't plan to be a DC subscriber. Um, but it will be interesting to see sort of from the sidelines, uh, how it looks from the outside, I guess. Um, we don't know the exact numbers of Netflix. Netflix knows. We don't know. There's no way of telling, other than, like the most popular shows on Netflix, we can kind of get a grasp of how big the audience is. But, overall, we don't know, what's most popular on Netflix, or what's sort of being viewed the most by individuals or by families, and yada yada yada, all that kind of stats. Uh, but it is interesting, and it's like I do foresee, like, my goal is to build a small publishing company to where I can get my own IPs out there and my own superhero creations, as well as a bunch of other odds and ends. Just, comics or storytelling. That's what I want to do, and I have ideas in sort of both camps. Um, and I do want to do like anim- animated shows of my works. how big that gets is based on the success of everything, but everything I do or try to do. Um, but I am interested at least in doing scenes or bits of animation of some of my properties sooner than later. Um, will I be looking to get picked up by animation studios or movie studios? That remains to be seen. I would like to do it in house, experiment it with it in house, have a team, small team of animators, and work with them, and just put out, like, short stories or something related to the characters and stories. Um, so streaming is something, it's like I'm looking to doing streaming on YouTube and streaming on Twitch, um, but expanding as a company to deliver animated shows and maybe even live action. We'll see. um, so yeah, how to become a pinup artist? There's. I guess let me get a pencil. Um, you want to do something that you don't. Art is subjective, and you don't have to be the most amazing artist to uh, do a piece and for it to become a popular print. Let's say, this piece um, is standard, straightforward, but it's not the minimalist. She's not standing squarely, like arms at the side. There's a little twist to her form, which makes her a little unique. She has, you know, but it's pretty standard. It's like right dead center is the middle of the illustration. I remember, and this is more with comic book storytelling, and something I saw Steve Rude go over. I saw it online. It was probably in a book or something, but where he would take an average panel and he wouldn't put the main action dead center. He would actually maybe make it slightly off to the side to where, maybe there was a main figure that was important to that panel's story. Maybe he's pulling a gun, um, and maybe there's really nothing going on for the majority of the panel. Um, but yeah, but it makes it unique, and that could work in a pinup. Where I could have this hot chick, but she's not dead center. She would be more left and maybe a little above um, the absolute center. So let's say we did that, and mind you, like every print doesn't have to have a background